Welcome back, Devils fans, and the boys took the Turnpike South, went into Philly, and dropped a painful loss to the Philadelphia Flyers by a score of 1-0. And cheers, all my Devils fans. You already know, win or lose, we booze, and tonight was a painful one. Devils shut out yet again, and you know, guys, what is there to talk about at this point? This was game 80 on the season. We have one more left after tonight. The Devils with the chance to play spoiler and put a severe damper on the Philadelphia Flyers' playoff hopes. We go into Philadelphia, and there's not much to talk about here. Towards the end of the game, I was like, what am I even going to talk about in the video? This was one of the more boring games to watch, in my opinion, in quite some time. Not much of anything of substance really to cling on to. The boys killed off, I think it was like about a minute, maybe even a minute and change of a 5-on-3 power play for the Flyers in the first period. We did a good job killing that off. And I thought we might get some momentum and it might give us a spark or something. But was not in the cards for us tonight. And the only goal of the game in the second period at 10:50, Travis Konechny, shorthanded, which really sucks. I feel like we've given up a ton of shorthanded goals this season. And we got caught. Everyone pressuring in our offensive end. We get caught. Konechny gets sprung. Comes in all alone on Kakinen and buries it. And that's all she wrote. The only goal of the game, a shorty by the Flyers in the second period. And that's really it. We didn't see any. There was no fisticuffs. McDermott had a couple nice hits. But outside of that, not much really, nothing of substance here to talk about. It was one of those very boring games, kind of agonizing to watch. And we allowed the Flyers' playoff dreams to continue on. We could have really almost gave them the death blow tonight. And we contributed to their hopes still being alive going into the last game of the season. It's unfortunate that the Devils couldn't get the victory and help put them to pasture. But it was just one of those nights. We had a couple decent chances. I really feel bad for Capo Kakinen. He played a really good game, had a couple crazy saves, definitely played well enough to get the win. And he got no goal support tonight. We just couldn't get one in. And that's all she wrote. A 1-0 painful loss in game 80 on the season. We go to the game stats. This video brought to you by White Claw, as well as obviously our banner sponsor, RWJ Barnabas Health. We go to the game stats. Devils with 20 shots on goal. Philadelphia Flyers with 21. Again, this seems like a painful trend over the past week. The Devils averaging around 20 shots a game. In the NHL, mustering a pathetic 20 shots a game is not going to result in a lot of wins. We got lucky the other night against Toronto and somehow scored a mind-blowing 6 goals on 20 shots, and we lit up Samsonov like a Christmas tree. On most nights against an average NHL goaltender, you're not going to get that type of output. And 20 shots on goal, again, very troubling. I don't really know what's been going on, why we're not generating nearly as much offense. Obviously, Jack Hughes helps in that department with possession and chances and all of that. But even without Jack Hughes, to get 20 shots on goal is just completely pathetic, and you're not going to win too many games doing that. Face-off percentage, Devils 52.4% to 47.6% for the Flyers. Devils were 0 for 1 on the power play. Flyers 0 for 3. Devils with 23 hits. The Flyers with 30. This seems like this might be another building that's generous with crediting of the hits. Block shots, Devils 9. Flyers with 22 block shots. Wow, that's quite a disparity there. Devils with 6 giveaways. The Flyers with 9 giveaways. The Devils with 2 takeaways. The Flyers with 10 takeaways. A fairly evenly played game. The Flyers only got 21 shots on goal, which is, that's pathetic as well. Just kind of one of those boring games. The Flyers wanted to hang on and win. They found a way to win, and their season and playoff hopes are still alive as of this very moment. And so it is what it is. It would have been nice to really drive a knife in their chest. Was not in the cards. And like I said, Kakinen played more than good enough to win the game. He had that crazy save where the puck like ricocheted off the boards or something, came right out in front, and he made a crazy save, and then another one on the rebound chance. And it's going to be interesting to see what the Devils do in terms of goaltending in the summer. We all know that Fitz has proclaimed he's going big game hunting. I'm not so sure how much confidence I have in Tom Fitzgerald as a hunter of big game, but I do believe it's going to come down to, most likely for the Devils, I believe we are going to end up with Markstrom. I would like Saros, but I think he would cost probably a lot in assets we'd have to ship there, and then when his contract is up, he's going to want $8 or $9 million. And as I've said before on the channel, I cannot see the analytics team spending that much of the cap on a goaltender, and so I don't think it'll happen for that reason. But I do think they will like Markstrom at $6 million for 2 more seasons, and I think he wants to be here. He's already checked out of Calgary. I think they pissed him off with the way that whole thing was handled. He waived his no trade to come to New Jersey, and then the Calgary ownership apparently, kiboshed the deal at the 25th hour. And so if I had to make a prediction, I'm going to predict that we do obtain Markstrom in the summer. I would prefer Saros, but I understand why that's going to be a deterrent for the Devils, even though I'm not necessarily sure that it should be. But I just think Markstrom's going to come cheaper in terms of assets, and only $6 million for 2 years. I think the Devils will be comfortable with that, and then hope at that point someone, either Schmid, Dawes, maybe Poulter, or someone else in the in the pipeline would be ready to take the reins from Markstrom. And who knows, maybe Markstrom could sign for a 3rd or 4th year, depending on how he plays. So I just think that at a minimum of 2 years with Markstrom, the succession plan would be one of the kids in the pipeline to take over after that period of time, or another year or two. And I'd be happy with Markstrom personally. I think a lot of people are scared by his age, but for 2 more years at the as it stands right now, I'm not that frightened. If you people remember, a 40-year-old Martin Brodeur backstopped the Devils to a Stanley Cup Finals appearance in 2012. And while obviously Markstrom is not Marty, it just goes to show that the right goalie getting hot at the right time can carry you pretty far through the playoffs. And so I'd be very confident in Markstrom. And I think that Fitzgerald has a lot of other things on his plate that he needs to address in the offseason, namely defensemen. I would like at least one nasty defenseman, preferably 2. And I've thrown out the names that I've wanted for a while now. I wanted Zadorov midseason this year, and we missed the boat on him. Would love Zadorov, big, nasty dude. I think exactly what we need. I'd love to see Zadorov. And if not Zadorov, I'd love to see Gudis or Tanev. And if somehow we could get 2 of those 3, that would be absolutely dream stuff. I don't know that we'll get that lucky, but if he could land one of those 3 guys, I think that dramatically helps out the blue line. And then I want to see some snarl up front as well. And, a depth center. I would like Adam Henrique. Some people were throwing out some other names. Chandler Stevenson. There's a bunch of guys available in free agency, so I think we have to kind of replace McLeod to some extent. Mikey McLeod was having a breakout year before. Obviously, his situation unfolded, and he was basically, gone forever. So I think that role needs to be addressed. We need some grittier guys up front, and the defense, obviously. But I will be putting out in the summer, shortly after the season ends, actually. I'm going to call it the summer for our terms, because our summer starts in a few days. But there'll be a lot of videos coming involving the head coaching situation, players I'd like to see us get in free agency. And then I will now address the elephant in the room, which is a lot of people were really in their feelings and bothered by my Brady Tkachuk video that I put out the other day. I've been talking about Brady for a long time now on the channel. One of my favorite types of players. For anyone who's watched this channel for any duration of time knows that I am an old school fan. I love the fisticuffs. I love the hitting. I love the physicality. I love all the elements that are slowly getting stripped away from our beautiful game. And Brady Tkachuk is that throwback guy. And I think on this Devils team, he would be a phenomenal addition that could shake up the whole group and force other guys to kind of rise up to somewhere near his intensity level. With that being said, it seems like a lot of Senator fans have really been in their feelings and posting nonsense like, yeah, keep dreaming, or Brady's not available, we'll never trade him. Like, first of all, I never said this was definitely happening. We're talking about it as a possibility, and I was kind of shedding light on the fact that other media outlets have been discussing this as well in the last couple of days. So for the Senators fans to come out and start chirping me and talking all this smack, I think it's kind of funny. It shows how sensitive they really are. And I guess that fan base would really be devastated if the Senators move Brady Tkachuk. But the reality is he is probably unhappy there, I'd have to imagine. And if a team comes knocking and presents an offer they can't refuse, Brady Tkachuk very well may be on the move. That is just the reality. Sports is a business, and this is a segment of the business. Superstar players get traded. They leave in free agency. And the reality is Wayne Gretzky was traded, guys. If Wayne Gretzky can be traded from the Edmonton Oilers, anybody can be traded. That is just the facts. Wayne Gretzky was traded. Let that sink in. The greatest of all time, the great one himself, was traded. So anything is possible. I'm not saying it's likely. I'm not saying it's definitely going to happen. But the reality is the chatter has been heating up in hockey circles. And I think Fitzgerald probably will reach out. And now just to kind of circle back, the ties or kind of the smoke signals I think are interesting surrounding Brady with the Devils. And I'll just start off at the top. Number one, I believe Brady Tkachuk is a cousin of some sort. I don't know what level, second or third cousin, whatever it is. The Tkachuks and the Fitzgeralds are cousins. So we have Brady Tkachuk, number one, is a relative of Tom Fitzgerald, our general manager. Number two, Brady Tkachuk is tight with the Hughes clan. So he has some good friends. Some of his boys are on our team. Number three, Brady Tkachuk's wife is from the Jersey Shore. And for my final little linkage, I don't know what his future holds here, or he'll probably be maybe battling for a spot in camp, but Shane Bowers was a college teammate of Brady Tkachuk's at BU. So when you add up A plus B plus C plus D, not to mention that the Devils, on paper, we do have talent. Brady would be coming to a team where he's surrounded by talent and a team that should be built to win for the foreseeable future. And for anyone to say that the future of the Ottawa Senators is more appealing to players than the New Jersey Devils, I have a bridge to sell you. Because in no planet is the trajectory of the Senators going forward anywhere near what it is for the Devils. And so when you look at all of these elements, he's the type of player the Devils need. I just named all the ties he has back to the Devils. It just makes all the sense in the world, and I really hope that Tom Fitzgerald finds a way to make it reality and land Brady Tkachuk. It would be quite the addition to this club, and I'd be super excited. But let me know what you thought about the game in the comments. I mean, this was just kind of a snoozer. I mean, my God. Really, really kind of hard to watch. Continue to let me know what type of videos you'd like to see in the off season. After the season ends, I'm going to have a bunch of kind of, there'll be a bunch of end of season recap type stuff. So I'll probably have, for the week or so after the season, there'll be a bunch of stuff coming out about that. The season in review and things of that nature. But then once that goes, I would like to know what type of off season videos, if any, you guys would like to see. A lot of you said you were newer fans and you would like to see more historical type videos about former players and things of that nature. So that's definitely on my radar. Some of you said you do like the Museum Mondays where I show a memorabilia piece and kind of talk about that. So I'll try to continue on with that. But I'm very curious. Any other ideas you guys have? Someone said top 10 lists. I have a lot of things in the works. And I'm just kind of trying to figure out what I'm going to do to keep busy over the summer. I probably will do a little playoff type stuff. I don't really know how involved I'll get with that either. And keep your eyes peeled. I have planned in my appreciation of all you guys watching the videos and BSing with me all season long here, I will be doing a big giveaway show, which I'm planning. I think I'm going to do it live, where I'm going to give away a ton of cool Devils memorabilia and other Devils shit. So keep your eyes peeled for the details surrounding that. That'll probably be within, I would say, a week and a half, 2 weeks max of when the season ends. So yeah, I'd like to do it in the month of April probably. But yeah, throw out any suggestions, other types of videos you guys would like to see. I'm very curious about that. I'm going to try to keep this thing on life support during our very long summer off season before next season begins. And I think that's all I got for you guys. I got a long night ahead of me. That's why I'm kind of starting off with the White Claws. I've mentioned in a previous video, I do like MMA and I am a UFC fan. Tonight is UFC 300. And so I will have to be awake till probably at least 2 a.m. Eastern time. and it's only 8 o'clock. It's 6 hours. So if I started drinking the Jack now, it'd be night for big men, way before the main event. But anything Devils hockey, anything else, throw it all out in the comments. We'll talk to you all soon. And that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that jazz. Until next time, friends, let's go Devils.